So we bring you all the latest updates. The coronavirus spreading as it is, over 7,000 cases now. And then later we'll have some great conversation on cervical cancer. And what a great way to introduce our ambassador. We already know Mama View somebody is an ambassador today, but today he's well regaled, well attired for the event. Charlie, what's up? We'll bring you a broader shot of the two of us usually.
Yeah, I need you to. Okay, so I was made an ambassador last week. Yes, exactly. Friday. It was Friday. So I'm part of 10 beautiful, all media personalities.
Oh, that's you.
This is when I was appointed. Exactly.
Beautiful.
The second lady, and then the gender minister, and then a deputy health minister right there.
Wow.
That's when I got my appointments.
You are working with the creme de la creme of Ghana society, the ruling elite.
Okay.
Because that's the vice president's wife.
Wait. They presented
if there's anything like a second lady of Ghana, that's her. Usually a first lady. So, Charlie, second lady.
So, her foundation is absolutely involved in the advocacy. And so that's when the appointment came and I accepted it. The whole idea is January is the month dedicated to do advocacy on cervical cancer.
Wow.
But our appointment means that we take it beyond January. And so we maintain the conversation.
You try and do.
We sustain the conversation.
So I expect of you, you have to schedule itemized events that you can do.
Absolutely.
And I can promise you, I'll convince our lead producers on the show to give you cameras when you're going to do some education in schools. At least we expect you do 3 of them. Each quarter you do one.
No problem. Listen, okay,
we'll go to a corporate institution as well. And, maybe you can go to a Barclays Bank or something, go and have some interaction. Put it on your Twitter feed and all that.
Okay, great.
We'll give it some elevated
thank you very much for the suggestions. I thought about all the things that you've said.
Fantastic.
But I thought I would start from home. So I am a member of the Trinity Congregation, Kuntuzi Presbyterian Church, and I thought I'll start from home. So I'll start from church. I'll let you know how it goes when I begin. So I'm actually looking for people who can help because, the screening is not free. It costs money.
How much is the screening? 20 Ghana?
No, so Rich Hospital is actually doing free screening from next week.
Up to the end of the year?
No, certainly not the end of the year, but Kolebu is doing half price. So you pay 80 cedis instead of I think 150. But that's between now and the end of the month. The end of the month is this week.
Private facilities, it will be just a little above.
Exactly, but you can do you can go to Kolebu, the reproductive health units, get yourself screened, and you pay 80 Ghana cedis instead of the normal rate of 150 Ghana cedis. But we have a conversation on cervical cancer today, and this is all coming. Okay.
It's just to help.
Thank you. They usually have like somebody who does
this one. Yeah, I'm doing it for you.
Okay, well, I'm grateful, and then they do this. Okay, so this is all coming on the back of our documentary produced by Seth Kwame Boateng.
Award-winning journalist.
Service, absolutely. Cervix in Crisis, where he highlighted, the documentary actually highlighted on this disease, cervical cancer. A lot of people waking up to the fact that it's a sexually transmitted disease. And so we have a conversation today, and today we're talking about the myths and misconceptions. So for instance, we had a couple of weeks or days ago that IUD, which is a, which is one of the family planning methods, could give you cervical cancer. I'm not sure we've dealt with it thoroughly here on the show, so we'll talk about that. Some people also say abortion. If you've had an abortion before, then you can get cervical cancer. Some other people think herbal medicines. So what's the truth really? We will discuss that later on the show on a Healthy Thursday. So ladies and gentlemen, when you see me anywhere, my name is Ambassador Mama View.
Yeah, and we'll take viewers around the world as well before we transition after the sports to get the latest on the international sites, what's happening.
And later today, the World Health Organization is going to also make a decision on whether or not this is a global you know, there's a global emergency on this.
Yeah.
So, you know. All right.
You're just
Let's
on top
do the
of all the
newspapers.
health issues.
I am, absolutely.
I think your ambassadorial role for cervical cancer has come in handy.
Yeah.
Because you seem to, Charlie, just taking all the health-related information
I like
into your strides.
The whole, you know,
Charlie,
yeah.
Let's
do the newspapers, guys. Daily Graphic newspaper, the Ghanaian Times. So, you know, Omahide Kwabena Sante, our colleague with Bijim on Adum TV, also wants to be an ambassador.
Let me help you. Oh, Mama. That's so beautiful.
Are you like a bridesmaid or something like that?
But you said somebody needs to help you. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go on.
Let's start with the Ghanaian Times newspaper. Front page of the Times. After 6 years shutdown, Anglo Gold Obuasi mine back, pours first gold as it begins production. Certainly good news, big news as well. Another big one is the fact that Geba has sued the Attorney General and the National Communication Authority over conditional access to free-to-air TV broadcast. Details there in the paper. Also, Nooks urges political parties, Electoral Commission to dialogue over completion of voters' register. At the annual New Year meeting, reports corrupt appointees to my office. President appeals to diplomatic coup. Report corrupt appointees to my office. Would it just be reporting them, or you've got to add evidence to it? EC Eminent Advisory Committee parties in crunch meeting today. In the center spread of the paper, well, details of some of the front page headlines, including Anglo Gold Obuasi mine, the fact that it is back on the back page of the Times, though. Installation of bulk supply points at Kaswa begins tomorrow, and that's according to MIDA, the Millennium Development Authority. It says construction of modern bulk supply point to ensure improved and reliable power supply to residents and businesses in Kaswa in the Wutusenya East Municipality of the Central Region will begin on January 31. Also on the back page of the Ghanaian Times, cocoa farmers urged to patronize PBC services. Let's do the daily graphic. From the Ghanaian Times, we do the Daily Graphic newspaper. Front page of the graphic. Obuasi mine bounces back. Anglo Gold Ashanti pours first gold. More like the exact headline in the Ghanaian Times, also in the Daily Graphic. New plant shutdown aborted, government intervenes. So yesterday, in the papers, there was a call by the workers for government to intervene. Remember that the company says it is no longer viable. And so they were laying off the last 100 workers that they have in Accra and Kumasi. But this story says government has intervened, so there is no shutdown. They were going to shut down close a week, which is close of the month. Also, Geba sues NCA. Government won't be lured into operating outside budgets, according to the Vice President. Ofosuampo for trial. Witness abandons prosecution. One of the biggest talking points yesterday after this case was heard. Details of that in the paper this morning. I thought I would go to page 36 and do a bit of Geba. The Ghana Independent Broadcasters Association has gone to the Supreme Court to challenge the decision of the National Communication Authority to introduce conditional access for free-to-air television. In a writ filed on January 28, Gema argued that the decision by the NCA was an impediment to the establishment of private press and therefore a violation of Article 162, Clause 3 of the 1992 Constitution. This article stipulates that there shall be no impediment to the establishment of private press or media, and it continues, joined to the writs as defenders are the Attorney General and the NCA. So recently, Geba complained about the new standards on digital terrestrial television and direct-to-home published on the website of the NCA. Now, according to Geba, the document published by the NCA had a new chapter, number 13. Remember that? Which contained conditional access and middleware applications and additional control features as minimum mandatory requirements, contradicting the original standards published by the Ghana Standards Authority, which is the statutory body mandated to do so. You can go on to read you know, the rest of the details. But I remember that the Standards Authority, the boss at the Standards Authority also came out to say, oh, there was nothing wrong. Well, now the issue is in courts. And yesterday I monitored Suleimana Brimer's Facebook page, and that's the executive director of the Media Foundation for West Africa, quoting excerpts of the Kenya situation and talking about how their change resulted in courts instead of, you know, all interested parties, stakeholders sitting down and dialoguing and reaching an agreement. You know, it ended up in suit and things like that, and that's not the ideal situation. So I think, and is it Tanzania or so that has been able to successfully? You want to help still?
Yeah.
Why is your hand here?
No, because it keeps falling off, so it has to be. Yeah.
I'm going to take it off. You know, I'm going to take it off after the headlines, right?
I think you should. It's disrupting.
Oh my God!
My flow.
All right, so that's the
I keep looking at it because it's falling off.
So that's the
but I love this. I think we should take a picture.
That's the serious story about the Giba situation and the NCA, and that's where we are with this case. So we'll be giving you more updates, sharing a lot more with you on this. Maybe I should talk about the intervention, the new plan shut down real quick on page 16 in the Daily Graphic still. And it says the planned shutdown of New Plan Ghana Limited tomorrow, which was informed by the lack of contracts and recurring monthly losses, has been put on hold following an intervention by the government. The intervention follows pleas from the workers of the company and other citizens to the government after the Daily Graphic publication on the plight of the 46-year-old company. It goes back. I just want to know exactly what has been promised, but I guess you have to continue to read to get that. I would read later on and share with you. Let me do my last newspaper, which is the Business Finder newspaper. Obuasi Mine pours first gold since 2014. President says it's new beginnings for Obuasi. KK Sapon heads NPG board and Giba sues NCA and the Attorney General. That's it for the Business Finder.
And we continue with the Daily Statesman newspaper. Again, the Obuasi mines reopening back in business, occupying the front page of the Daily Statesman. Up there we have First Lady speaks up for preventive health care. Down there, students unite behind Electoral Commission, urge parties to let it do its work. We're talking about the National Union of Ghana Students. Second paper, we do have the Daily Dispatch newspaper, and they're saying you should look out for the analysis in the dailies that they publish next week in who is going to win the new job in South context as PC, that's a parliamentary candidate. Already it's been occupied by Dr. Mark Asibe, is it Yabua? Okay. And now we have Mr. Befi of currently Free Zones aboard, who is also said to be a front runner in that election. The contest or the primaries of the MPP are going to take place in April. So it's the latter part of April. That same day, they will also hold the primary for the presidential candidate as well. We already do know that the president has expressed his interest. Other stories on the front page of the Daily Dispatch newspaper. Improving sanitation in Ghana. Current gutters have outlived usefulness, need re-engineering. Yeah, we do know. I don't know, the way we still have open gutters in our country. I don't know. Not that it's wrong to have an open gutter. It's just that we don't seem to take care of them well. And so they're always silted. And that's a problem. Yeah, so... we have KNUST engineers all the time. The two groups ask government, where are the missing excavators? Question, great question. We also do have Ajay Nasari. Ajay Nasari, Stop the Rain. Togbiga Fiti the Fifth testifies. All right. The latter day coming of Jesus Christ's disciples. Stopping the rain. Ajay Nasari, Stop the Rain.
Read the full story.
Yeah, the full story, I'm sure it's about...
Yeah.
It says,
read the
the paramount chief of the Aflau traditional area Togbuga Fiti, the faith has testified about how Bishop Charles Asari prayed for the rains to stop in Aflao during one of his crusades in the area some years ago. It was about Ambassador. It was about raining, and he was convening his crusade in the town of Aflao, and he prayed to the Son of God, Jesus Christ, and the rain stopped. Yeah, it's a good one there. Togbuga Fiti of Aflao was around. So we also do have the Daily Guide. Let's go to Daily Guide. The Daily Guide says drama in court as at Ofosuampo for trial. Witness denies statement. He says he can see his signature, and the witness says he can see his signature. It looks like his, but the content are not his. He's not privy to the content at all. And the witness for the prosecution was the first, actually, Benjamin Osei Ampofweji, a broadcast journalist with Adom FM. Center spread. We go to the center spread, and this story quite interesting. Center spread, Daily Guide. We'll bring it to you. Rexoma apparently in 2015 sued Joy Daddy Beaters, the producers of Joy Daddy Beaters, and they used a song da da dee da 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 for an advert. It sued them. I'm happy because this one for the creative arts industry, Charlie Sarkodie, especially my great artists I love, Shatta Wale as a Stone Boy. Somebody uses this thing for advert without your permission. Charlie, sue, get money, get money, get money. All right. Mama V, Corona.
Yep, let's go to myjoyonline.com. On Corona, yes, I think there's a certain updates, but we'll touch base with myjoyonline.com. I'll tell you about the situation in Nigeria. They've taken a certain move, and that's on the BBC. So that update's coming up right. But let's do myjoyonline.com. The updates from Nigeria is that the Consumer Protection Agency in Nigeria says it has closed down a Chinese-owned supermarket selling illegally imported seafood and meats in the capital Abuja over ongoing fears about the spread of coronavirus. The Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission said they made the discovery during a surprise inspection. The agency said that many of the products it found in the supermarket had irregular or expired dates. So that's very latest coming from Nigeria on the coronavirus. But what's on our page, myjoyonline.com. New voters register, EC to meet political parties, imminent advisory committee today. We know the position of those who are against the register. So what would really happen? Because the positions are entrenched already, right? Ghana ready to deal with coronavirus. Majority refutes minorities' claim. Oh, here we go. Even on a disease that will not identify you by political callous, we don't seem to agree. Yeah. Also on our pay, governments pay for Moody's ratings. University lecturer claims. Oops. The Moody's Investors Service report recently changed Ghana's rating. And there is a twist to it. I'll urge you to go to my journal and read. Give us use NCAAG over conditional access implementation for free to TV. This is how your new motor insurance sticker looks like. If you haven't seen it yet, kindly go to myjoyonline.com and familiarize yourself with the new features. Newly commissioned ambulances cost $133,000 each, according to the Special Development Initiative Minister. Coalition Against New Voters Register petitions Rollins, and that was a day before that crunch meeting today.
Who's a member of
Rexoma wins copyright case against Joy Daddy Beaters, awarded 200,000 Ghana cedis in damages. Obuasi returns to productivity, profitability excites Ekufuado. Plenty more stories on myjoyonline.com. You've got to stay with us. We've got sports coming up, coming your way, after which we settle down. We'll discuss all the big issues we'll discuss the voters register, where we are, where we're going. We'll talk extensively about the coronavirus as well. And then after that, we'll talk about the myths and misconceptions, cervical cancer. And I've shared with you the fact that I am an ambassador. Please address me by Ambassador Mama Fiowuswabwaji. Thank you.
Yeah, Ambassador Mama Fiowuswabwaji, we have to take a break. When we come back, we'll have the latest sports headline. Ambassador, yes, please don't take it off. We'll get some instruments to get to stick it on your well.
Oh, you're watching the M Show. Stay, please.
We'll be right back, Ambassador.